Awesome. Yeah, there's not many people today, so you can just come up here, I think. We just check the online stream is working. Yeah, it looks good. Cool. What's that? No, none for you. I wouldn't ask the impossible. Okay. Let's get started. Oh, I can't do the slide changer thing. Hang on. This is where I always forget. Anyway, it's too far away. Right, welcome. Welcome to Microcontroller Mania. This is actually the third Microcontroller Mania. The first one was just microcontrollers in general. The second one was AT, tiny, and sort of low power, very small 8-bit microcontrollers. And then today we're talking about wireless. And I got a little wireless demo for everyone. But my talk's only going to be maybe 10, 15 minutes long. And then we're going to get down to playing with some of these devices, trying things out, trying to make some stuff. So most of it is that. Let's have a look then. So yeah, the ESP32. I know you've got one there. There's one here. There's maybe a couple we can share. And you've got one. Brilliant. Everyone brought one today. What's good about it? Well, it's pretty fast for a microcontroller. It's also got loads of memory, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cheap and available. It's very, some stuff like Raspberry Pi 4 you can't buy, but this is nice and easy to get. And it's got good support in general, good data. And yeah, battery powered, low powered. Come join in, guys, if you want to. My talk is not very detailed. I'm sure you guys know it all. But yeah, and so I'm going to show a few demos today of stuff I've done with this. Let me show you the real thing, especially for people watching on the stream. Yeah. So if you're watching on the stream, you can see and you can get an idea of how big it is. And quick question, does anyone know these other sensors we've got here? Why are you speaking Japanese today?
Sorry. So mad.
Yeah. It's like an ultrasound distance sensor. And the one in the middle, anyone know that one?
Geiger.
It's not a Geiger counter.
Ghost detector.
Pretty close. I think it's an infrared proximity detector, so we can see if things are close or not. And so my demo is going to show off a couple of these things. So I've got to change my slides. Yeah, so I thought I'd do a quick demo of something you could really, really quickly make with an ESP32. So I've made an IoT data logger. This is the quick hacky version. Maybe after I show the demo, I'll show you some of the reasons why it might not be so good in the real world. But for a demo, for your first project, I think it's a good example. All we're going to do is we're going to connect to Wi-Fi. We're going to measure some sensors. And then we're going to send and log that sensor data somewhere. So there's only really 3 simple steps. You might need to think a bit more about some of these steps if you're doing things like battery powered, or if you can't use Wi-Fi, have to use some other transmissions. But we'll keep it simple today, and we'll just do it like this. So step 1 is going to be our sensor readings. Maybe I should do the demo first. We'll just jump straight into the code. I'll always go straight to the code, why not? Again, pretty simple stuff. I'm doing it in Thonny because I think that is what I recommend if you're just getting started. It's the easiest way to start. Again, very messy code that I pumped out in a few hours. So all we're doing is we're getting a few pins on the ESP32. We've got some inputs and outputs. And this is a section where we connect to the Wi-Fi. So we're using MicroPython, so it's relatively simple. It's very high level. You don't need to worry too much about what we're doing. Connect to the Wi-Fi, so we're connecting to the Wi-Fi here. And there is a nice open Wi-Fi network you can use to try stuff out today. And after we connect, very, very simple, we just keep logging data every second. And this log data function is going to send our data to a server, which is logging the data. Okay? So it'll get the data from the distance sensor, which will be this thing, get the data from the middle sensor, send that data off to a URL. So hopefully it's about as simple an example as I could make. Let's do the demo. Where's my cable gone? Just going to plug everything in. Again, Thonny is very, very straightforward. Pretty much just auto-detects your programmers and dev boards. Ooh. Apart from when you do a live demo. Okay. So I'm going to run this code. Maybe. There we go. So it's connected to the Wi-Fi. It's got its IP address, and it's making sensor readings, okay? And I put together a very, very simple website, if I can find it, to show you what's happening. So it's hard for me to show this here, but if I put my hand, say, here, the distance measurements are much closer. But if I move this away and maybe point it over there, this is measuring this distance now. So the distance measurement is much bigger. And if I just point it randomly up in the air, it's now measuring, the distance up in the air. It's past how the sensor can go. I think the sensor tops out at about 2 meters. So that's the measurement we're getting. So you can imagine doing this with temperature sensor, humidity sensor, any kind of data logging sensor. And this is all running on a thing called Superbase, which is a really, really easy way to kind of log data and make websites out of that data. So we just have this database of values where it's sending one every second. Okay. So that is the basic idea behind this. Yeah, I got some screenshots showing what we're doing, connecting to the Wi-Fi, logging the data, doing it like that. That is basically the whole thing. Does anyone have any questions so far about what we're doing? Go on.
Sorry, was that the is that infrared or is that the?
This is this distance sensor here.
Right.
It is sending this sensor as well. This sensor is more like, are you touching or not touching, more or less. So like, you could have it as like a door closed sensor.
Not so much a distance thing.
Yeah, not really so much a distance. Just is there something close or not? So if I put my thumb there,
Oh, I see. Off or on.
if I put my thumb in front of it, you will see this touching sensor line in the column. Lots of pages of data now. Let's go to the end. Yeah, so now you can see the last few are true because I'm touching it. So again, just an example, that could be a switch, could be any kind of sensor.
I came across some guy who hooked up a bunch of switches to his ESP32 maybe, and they hit a website like that, but then they triggered stuff like opened up Netflix, and he had a whole bunch of different things around his house, like a smart house to his home,
Yeah.
It's just got a bunch, it's all wireless, like.
So
On the back end, once you got it to the website, you could get it to do anything,
Yeah, so this is like a super bare bones example where it's about as simple as you can go. But one project that's really worth looking at is ESP Home, which is people using ESP32 plus Home Assistant to do home automation. And this has support for many, many different devices, all sorts of sensors. I saw a guy who attached sensors to his couch legs so you could weigh people and tell how many people were sitting on the couch. You know, is it one person sitting on the couch? Is it two people sitting on the couch?
One fat person.
Yeah. So that was a cool example. Oh, hello, join it. Yeah, that's basically my demo. I'm happy to go over it in more detail if anyone wants to look. I realize it's a bit of a short demo today. Does anyone have any other questions about this, or should we just get straight into making our own stuff?
I'm ready to go.
I know you're already started.
I think I've got it wired up. This is a little screen. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wide screen. Oh, I can make VR.
Cool.
Tiny little miniature
Mm.
TV. Netflix. Micro Netflix. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll sit.
Ooh. Something stopped. Oh, that's the local bit. Yeah, so that's my little mini demo. I know you've got an ESP32. You can borrow mine or borrow some of this tech and get started. Sorry, I didn't get your name before, but Seymour, cool. Do you have any microcontroller experience?
Not at all.
Not at all. Do you want to jump in and join in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Why not? So, you can borrow this one if you want, or I've got a Raspberry Pi Pico as well you can use. Pretty much any of this stuff, whichever's easiest for you. I recommend starting with this MicroPython and giving that a go first. Sorry. Yeah. Do you have a computer with you? Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Seems like I've missed the introduction already.
Well, it was only very, very short. I can give it you in 2 seconds. Basically, I made this, and it was a distance sensor hooked up to a Wi-Fi enabled microcontroller. And then you can put your hand here, and it measures the distance. And then this is being sent to a server and logging the data. So yeah, we've done a few of these events, and today we're trying to focus on like IoT, data logging, ESP32, anything like that. But we're all here to make our own projects, make our own little things. So yeah, anything goes. So if you haven't already, I recommend installing Thonny, which is a great way to get started with MicroPython. It's a very, very simple Python IDE, but it's got built-in support for these guys. If I find
It's on a Mac as well. Is it on Brew or Brew?
I don't know. I think I've downloaded it. Just download the binaries, but it might be on Homebrew. Oh, this is the new version. Maybe I should upgrade.
Checking my brain from C# to Python.
You've been writing C# all day.
Commenting is asterisks. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to install the new version of Thonny and see how that goes.
Excuse me?
Yeah?
Do you have a Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, there's a couple. If you just want to use a regular Wi-Fi computer, ask the staff over there. They'll give you a piece of paper. There's also like a open Wi-Fi for like development, and I can tell you that later if you need it for if you want to connect to your microcontroller or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Is there anything else I need to get started?
I think Thonny is, once you've got that installed, and I would check out the MicroPython documentation. That's a great place to get started for this. And then, well, the classic thing to start with, if you've never done any microcontrollers before, is getting like an LED to blink. And once you've gone from there, at least you know you can run the program, and then you can go from there. Okay, let's see if I managed to install Thonny correctly. Kind of looks the same. I thought I updated it. Okay, this is the new version. Q. Yeah, let me find a very simple example for Blink. So this is kind of what your first example could be. In fact, let me do it and run it on this Raspberry Pi. And I need an LED from somewhere. Let me find one. Hopefully these are ones that all the children blow out. Yeah, we did a kids circuit event a few weeks ago, and you lose a lot of stuff there. Probably should use a resistor. Okay, let's get something blinking. Oh, I can't remember which pins are which. So, ooh, not that way. Okay, so I want to hook this up. Let's do it near the end somewhere. So I have to try and work out which pin number that is. So we're on the end, so I probably have a Raspberry Pi pin out somewhere. Pico. I find a lot of the microcontroller stuff, you just end up, you're just counting pins all day. Okay, 15. So hopefully, let's make sure we're on the right thing. So, cool. There we go. That's it.
Wow. So you've connected this pin with this?
Yeah, so
line.
this line is the ground.
Okay.
So all the square pins on here are ground. So that's a square one. And then that's a numbered one at the end. It's easier to see if you haven't got the solder thing.
Oh, so you've connected
Ground to ground.
ground.
So this is going from, like, you know, the electricity is flowing through the LED to the ground.
Okay.
And then, so that's, you know, step one, checking you can do that and run a program, and then sky's the limit after that. Do you want to have a play with this one? I'll go around and check on everyone else.
Yeah, sure.
Go for it. Have you got Thonny installed now?
No.
Not yet.
I'm too thin is enough.
Pardon?
Too thin is enough to me.
Okay.
I think.
Do you want to try though?
I want, but
Yeah.
how can I start?
Yeah. So you're on the right page there. So give that install. So you're on a Mac. So download the Mac version. Once you install that, go through all the choices, yeah. I'll find another Raspberry Pi or an ESP32 for you to use. I'm sure I got another one somewhere. Oh, I can't move that one. I need that one. You can use the ESP32, that's okay. Cool. Yeah, ESP Home, I haven't set it up yet. I've not tried it, but it looks really good. It looks like it supports a lot. Let me find another cable for this. USB マイクロ全部使ってるかな。
マイクロ USB ですか。
なんかこれの1個前のバージョンですね。はい、C の前の時代の昔の携帯とか。なんか全部使ってるかな。
こういうやつですよね。
ああ、似てるけど、多分それは HDMI マイクロかな。使うかな。Cool. That's it, yeah. That's right. So if I plug this in here, and plug this in here, so I think allow, yeah. If you go to the bottom right, oops, where did that go? Oh, that's weird. Looked like it crashed a little bit. Try and open Funny again and see what happens. Yeah, open it again then.
Crashed for me too for the first time, but then
That's weird.
it didn't.
I think it might be a permissions thing or something. Yeah, so click in this bottom right corner here and go configure interpreter. That bottom option, yeah. The bottom, no, the very bottom one, yeah. And it's slightly different to my one. Okay, maybe just cancel this. And yeah, try ESP32 MicroPython, the top one there. Yeah, that's one. Okay, so see if you can get this LED to blink. So it's already plugged in. So I can't remember. The pin number is pin number 32.
Yes.
So if you can follow this code, and instead of 15, use 32,
Okay.
and then hit the play button on the top, and just check it's all working.
Thank you.
Cool. Keep going.
Like I'm missing some Python modules. It can.
Ah, so this is the key thing. So this does Python and MicroPython.
Okay.
So you've got to set it up for MicroPython. So if you click on that bottom one here and select that one.
There's two ones, right?
Yeah, the
gonna
top
take the
one, I
Raspberry
think.
Pi Go.
Pico. And now if you hit play,
Oh,
boom.
Wow.
So one thing that's very fun is to, once you can do this, try and learn about PWM. Yeah, do you know that? It's pulse width modulation.
Yeah.
It's just turning it on and off very quickly. So you can dim it.
Ah, I see.
So
yeah.
try
Okay,
and make it glow is
Yeah.
the next one to
Okay,
try.
Okay.
And you're off to the races. Yes.
I think I need to flash the firmware thing before.
Have you used the ESP32 before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe. Would there be drivers in here that would be installed?
No, it's much lower level than that.
Mm.
What have you done up until now?
I plugged it in and I'm pretty sure I got all the wires right.
What
It's-
code are you running?
It's all micro, Python stuff.
Can you show me the code?
I'll show you the code. It's cut and pasty stuff from here.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I click there, and I don't get any errors, but it finishes pretty quick, and nothing really happens. But it's
To me, looking at this, I'm thinking like, how does this know it's talking to this? Like, there's no pin numbers or anything in there.
no.
Like, I think that's not enough,
Yeah,
right?
I think so too. But it feels like there's something.
So how is this going to communicate with this? That's
Here
the
we go.
key thing.
Here's our first little DIY menu.
Yeah, okay. So can we look at the example code from here?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, mate.
Hmm.
The software demo program. And I believe that's what I just.
Yeah, let's keep going. Let's just keep going. Have a look at the whole thing.
Maybe
So
that's
what's
what-
that? Yeah.
That might be what I just did.
Can we have a look at the whole thing? Yeah. Okay, so that's
Oh, that's a little bit
that's
more
a
juicy, isn't it?
big example. So it's, yeah,
Oh, hello. Have we found it?
have a go with that.
You reckon delete that?
Yeah, maybe for now. Cool. Yeah.
Could you
Oh
turn-
my! I need a charger for my computer somewhere.
Still nice to go.
There we go.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I write about
Okay.
this one. And next step, what can I do?
So have you tried running it? If you click the play button, the green button at the top of the menu bar, you can run that. Okay, so we got an error. I'm not sure what that means. Line 10. This seems odd. TRNE isn't defined. I can't really read it very well. It's a bit small. But okay. This line here, line 6. Line 6 is not quite right. If you press Command plus, you can make the font bigger as well. Maybe Command Shift plus. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that needs to be true. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Wait, we got blinking.
Thank you.
Nice. So have a fiddle around. Try changing that up. I recommend looking at PWM as well. That's a fun one to try. It's the next step. And we've also got a bunch of switches and sensors if you want to try something a bit different. What switches have we got? Well, those plug in very well. Okay. So this language is MicroPython. So I recommend searching for the MicroPython documentation, and there's lots of good information there. Sorry. Yeah. Is it working?
If I construct a PVM object,
Yeah.
how do I use it?
I think when you have to set the mode, yeah, so you can do it like this. So you can pass the pin to machine.pwm, and then you can change the frequency in the duty cycle.
Okay.
I think that should work.
So basically, if I construct the object, it automatically is working.
There's a lot of magic under there, right? So MicroPython is quite a high-level abstraction of some of this stuff. So I don't know if you have experience with like embedded stuff and timers and things, but
not really.
I don't really either. But yeah. So you need to give it the pin, set the duty cycle. I think that's working, but your duty cycle is like 100%. So the the LED is just on.
I
So-
thought that was 50%.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Try setting it to a low number.
Yeah. Let's do 9, 2, go. Oh, there's something wrong here. That looks fine. to me.
Function doesn't take keyword arguments. I feel like the function. Have you tried it like this? I don't know. What
Oh,
docs
I
is this?
found it.
Which? Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe
I'm not
there's
sure.
version differences or something
Yeah, I don't know.
going on.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh, this is the example I had, but yeah, they even give this similar example. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it should work. PWM is available on that pin. So some of the pins on some of the boards don't support PWM,
Oh.
but this one, I thought I saw it flicker a bit, maybe not.
There was something, right?
I think it's flickering, which makes me feel like it's working.
Let's try a different.
Oh, it's definitely working. That's much dimmer than before.
Yeah.
And you can
Okay.
see a 50 hertz flicker just about. So maybe just set it to ramp up and down. Yeah.
I see.
So you can set the frequency to like 1,000 to avoid
Yeah.
flicker.
Yeah.
And then just have the duty cycle ramp up and down and have like a little fading effect.
Yeah. Okay, I think I can work.
Fade it up and down. Cool. How's it going? Oh, it's just learning. Yeah. Cool.
What? What could I do using?
Yeah, yeah. So if you want, we've got lots of buttons and more LEDs and things if you want to try making something. So let me know when you've got an idea. Cool.
I've never tried this one.
Sure,
so,
sure.
so I have no knowledge about this.
That's fine, yeah, that's fine.
So I have no idea what should I do.
Sure.
Do you have any
Yeah.
recommendation?
So one simple thing you can start with is to try and learn about PWM and try and make this glow brighter and darker. So if you search for PWM, you'll find out some more information. That's a quick thing you can start with. Yeah.
PWM?
Yeah.
There is nothing.
Maybe try like Googling the
Ah.
contents of this site. Yeah. Cool. Did you get your thing working?